Good morning students, hope you are all fine. Today in physical education our topic is principles of sports training. In this video we are going to discuss the principles of sports training. The principles of laws of sports training are as follows. First principle of sports training is principles of continuity. Next principle of sports training is the principle of overload. Next principle of sports training is the principle of individual differences. Next principle of sports training is principles of general and speech preparation. Next principle of sports training is principles of progression. Next principle of sports training is principles of specificity. Next principle of sports training is principles of variety. Next principle of sports training is the principle of warm up and cool down. Next principle of sports training is principles of rest and recovery. Next principle of sports training is warming up and limbering down. These are the 10 principles of sports training. Now one by one we will discuss all these principles of sports training. First principle of sports training is principles of continuity. According to this principle, the training should be continuous process. There should not be any break. It means that the training loads should be increased for improving the performance of sportspersons. The normal training load cannot improve the performance. It has been observed that discontinuity of training reduces the physiological capacities of sportspersons. Along this, the interval between two training sessions should be maximum but not too long. Next principle of sports training is principle of overload. The principle of overload states that there should be greater than normal load. It means that the training loads should be increased for improving the performance of sportspersons. The normal training load cannot improve the performance. If the training load remains static, the effectiveness of the load diminishes with the passage of time. It can only maintain the achieved adaptation of load. Hope you understand today's topic, principles of sports training. Thanks for watching this video.